Welcome everyone to Tappy, which is an incredibly cute little device, which is essentially a Bluetooth controller, which, as it says here, tap it, 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 tap, to do page turning, front and back, or volume control, or some other different types of controls in this tiny little portable package. While it absolutely is cute, and as you've seen in the intro, you do have replaceable buttons that you can very easily kind of put here, and you can put other kind of buttons here because these are standard switches here, like on a keyboard. Standard orientation is like this, which makes sense because you want to do this, but for me this is the important one because we have eyes and we have a mouth, and then Tappy becomes somebody who's happy. I can't really unsee it anymore as it is like that, and this is a tiny little robot whom you poke his eyes to actually make the controls happen. Let's check it out and see how it works. Before we start with all the operations, just the first overview of what we have. We have button 1 and 2, or forward and back. We have the on-off switch, and we have the status indicator here, which is blue when pairing, green when everything's working fine, and red when you need to charge it, and you charge it via the USB-C port. There you have the strap lock section here, and you have little anti-slip feet, which are very slippery. So that's kind of weird because it's a hard kind of rubber that's fairly slippery when it doesn't have weight applied. However, when you do apply weight, then it's a little bit less slippery. But it's kind of odd thing to have non-slip feet dedicated there, which are slippery. Things that you can do with it, well, you can flip pages forward and back if you want normally, and then you have 3 different operation modes. By pressing and holding both buttons at the same time, you switch through different modes. The first one is the default mode is reading mode. Then you have the multimedia mode, where left button works as previous track and the right button works as the next track. So for example, if you're listening to Spotify here or something like that, then you can just quickly skip over to the next or previous tracks. And then you also have in browsing mode, left button scrolls up, right button scrolls down. In this case, we're going to check out the functionalities of this, how it pairs with the Boox Go 6, because it all conveniently fits in one single shot. So let's start with the pairing sequence. Obviously, you need to enable your Bluetooth functionality first. So in order to get into the pairing mode, first you turn the button, the power on, and then you press and hold both of these until the blue button starts flashing. Maybe you can see it, maybe you don't. But now that it's flashing, we are in pairing mode, and here we are, Boox Tappy has appeared. So we're going to tap here, yes, so we're going to pair, and soon enough, there we go. Welcome to the official Bluetooth page turner. Follow the steps to set up your device. Press the left button. I have pressed the left button. I guess press it again. Well, I am pressing left button. Dude, this is like, it should be really simple. Every other Bluetooth controller just pairs and works. Why is this a thing? Is it doing anything? Let's see. Let's go into a document of some sort. So this is the last document that I had opened. So that's not working. Why is it not working? All right, so I turned off Tappy and turned it on again, and I tried switching different modes. I think I'm in scrolling mode now. So let's press and hold for 5 seconds again until the green blinks 3 times. And now I should be in reading page flipping mode. So let's do that. And let's see now if I go into document and I open one of these documents. Let's see, can we finally have page flipping? No. Why is this so complicated? Was there no indication which mode you are in?
Well, a short interjection from the editing voya here, because as you can see, I'm editing the video right now. Now I see in the editing footage that it does show it on the screen of the device which mode you are in, which is actually quite cool. But because the blinking light was an indication of, hey, have you switched the editing mode or not? At the time, I was looking at the blinking light, and by the time the light stops blinking and you look back at the screen, the notification, which mode you're in on the device, is gone. So that's the reason why throughout the video and the continuation of the video, I kept missing it on the device, because each time that I would actually switch the mode, I was looking at the blinking light, and when it would stop blinking, I would look back at the device and it would be gone. So the notification is there. It's an important connotation because that point of frustration is going to be basically throughout the video. So please do keep that in mind. And now let's continue with the editing of this video and just see how ridiculous this mistake of mine is going to be throughout the whole thing. So yeah, my apologies about that, but this is a real world experience, and this was my real world experience. And unfortunately, somebody else may also have an experience like that. However, this still doesn't really explain why it didn't work, because clearly I've just switched to multimedia mode and it says like reading mode, which is page flipping, and then multimedia mode, and then scrolling mode. So it should have worked. So I still don't have an answer for that one, but at least there is a notification for which mode you are in.
Okay, so let's try. Maybe if I go into notes. There we go. So in notes, it works. Okay, so I'm in a Neo browser and this is working in scrolling mode now. But here's the thing, it doesn't really tell you in which mode it is. I don't know if I'm in scrolling mode and it just happens to be that the scrolling function will work in the Notes app or not. But if I'm in scrolling mode, then now holding this for 5 seconds should switch me to reading mode. And it shouldn't do scrolling. Unless next page and other page is also doing the scrolling. There we go. Now we have volume control. Okay, cool. So now we're in the correct mode, which should give me the option of flipping pages in NeoReader. Let's go. Come on, you can do this. I believe in you, Tappy. Yay, finally. Okay, so it does work. It's just, you know, this could have been solved so simply, because you have this one light here, and when you switch a mode, it does 3 blinks. How about it does 1 blink for mode 1, 2 blinks for mode 2, and 3 blinks for mode 3, so that you actually know what's going on. But all right, we got it, and it's working. And now it's scrolling because we have zoom mode. But if we pay fit to screen, we should have normal page flipping. And finally, it's working. Now, it would be cool if you could actually have control to switch over between, you know, how it functions, because right now, if I orient it like this, and this is my next page and previous page, I can surely get used to it, but it would have been nice if the system had an option to actually flip that functionality differently, because the ergonomics of this really lend itself very nicely for it to be held like this and naturally press these buttons like that. If I flip them like this is previous page, this is next page. When I'm pressing it, it's not really ergonomically comfortable. This is much more comfortable because I have much more support here for when I press the buttons. So that's my kind of thing, and also it looks cuter this way. But okay, so this works, definitely works. And the scrolling, now we can actually go back to the website so that I can see how does the scrolling work. Okay, so we are in volume mode. So if we press and hold for 5 seconds, wait for it to blink. There we go, it's blinking 3 times. Now it shouldn't do anything because we're in previous next track mode. I'm holding again, it should blink 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and now I'm in scrolling mode. And now it's refreshing. Oh, because I was going up. Now you can just kind of scroll how you want. All right, so that's kind of cool. One last thing that I want to test is if I go into notes and I create an infinite note, right? And let's say with a grid so that we can see how it actually moves. Will we be able to, oh, I need to make entries, otherwise it won't work. So let's do that. All right, so I made an infinite note that has some length to it. And normally I would scroll like this. So now we're in scrolling mode with Tappy and it doesn't work. But if we switch to, what? It's detecting something strange, okay. Now we're switching to next previous page mode. Infinite pages currently does not support the scroll page key. Okay, well, seriously, you introduce scrolling notes and your own scrolling product in scrolling mode doesn't work because you don't support scrolling keys. All right, well, hopefully they might actually implement these things so that you can use this in a really nice way, because then you could have, for example, an infinite note page on a small device like this, which, I don't know, if you have a lecture or something like that, and then you do like screencasting to a projector or to a TV, and while you're doing a presentation, you can simply scroll down through those things. You can't do that, but what you can do is use it in normal notebook pages and things like that, and then still do something like that. Again, I think that Go 6 Gen 2, the portability of it combined with the power and the price, it just proves to be this device that is very, very easy to miss and maybe disregard, but it's a little powerhouse, if that's what it is. A little slippery powerhouse, that's what it is actually. Back on to Tappy. I'm torn because it's incredibly cute, and as such, I'm drawn to things that have a character, and this is just like oozing with character because it's a little robot. I wanna give it teeth. I wanna, give him a hairdo on top here with some stickers and things like that. It's built really, really nicely. It feels very nice in the hand, and as I said, if you flip it around like this, it's ergonomically very, very nice and pleasant to use. So, does it work? Eventually, yes, it does. Once you get it to work, then it works. And once you kind of figure out what you're doing wrong, it's going to be fine. But the usability of it, I don't know, like it's $30. And other types of Bluetooth controllers have different types of functionalities, and they can function as a pointer and other stuff as well. I think that this is an extremely niche kind of thing, and the main appeal is in its look, mainly. $30 for something like this, though, it feels like a lot, even though it's built nicely. It would be nice if this was coming in different kind of funky colors, so you can have a yellow one, a pink one, a blue one, a cyan one, or a camouflage one, or kind of different types that you can actually choose and maybe replace, and you could have different covers that you could replace yourself. I'm not really sure if that's an option, if that's possible or not to do, if it was designed that way. So far, you only have this green color. I think that it could have been an amazing thing if Boox had actually implemented firmware support that gives you seamless integration and functionality so that you can do more than with a standard page flipping Bluetooth type of device. And then I think that this would make a lot of sense and would be a great pairing with the cuteness of the design and everything else. as it is, but for something as simple as this, I was expecting a smoother ride.
Tappy, Tappy, Tappy. I find it incredibly cute. Like, I really do. It's unbelievably cute, and I'm a sucker for devices that have a personality and that you can kind of, share a story with. This definitely falls into question, no question about it. With the this is the eyes, and you can do whatever. You can customize it and draw on it and do whatever you want. At least that's what I would do. Purely as a design and as a concept, it's really, really cute. Is it enough to actually warrant purchasing something like this? At $30, I think it's okay price considering the build quality and actually what you get. It's a very, very decent build quality. So it's not outrageous. It's not really like a just buy kind of thing, because you might end up with a thing that you never use, which translates into junk and thrown away $30. Not the end of the world, but really something that you maybe shouldn't be doing if you don't need to. The price proposition, if it's something that you're looking for, not outrageous. Okay, check, that works. The problem that I have with it is that if I'm gonna buy a Boox dedicated, looking like this, like a character, and it's called Tappy, and it's already designed like to be something that's fun and great, I need it to be a seamless experience that's going to differentiate it from any other pointer page turner that I can buy in a store, because it's $30 shipping, import costs and stuff. It's going to be more than $30 once you actually get this, because you can't buy it in a store. Other, Bluetooth page flippers you can buy in the store. And with the other Bluetooth page flippers, you don't have the confusion that I had initially, which is, which mode are you on? Is it working? Is it not working? And while that may sound like a small thing to you, unless you've done public speaking, where you are immediately dealing with the prospect of dealing with technical difficulties, which will and do arise magically, like things that work perfectly will always arise as soon as you get on the stage and you hook up your computer. The gremlins come and stuff that normally would work suddenly stops working. So not only do you have to keep all of your presentation, speech or whatever parked, you have to kind of press the pause button, not lose a thread, but you also have to then, on the fly, troubleshoot, make things done. This is where I would use this device, because it's really fun. I can just keep it in my hand and do this. Great. But what happens if I do it like that and it suddenly doesn't start working? Then I have to press and hold, wait for 5 seconds. How long is that going to troubleshoot? And longer you are doing that, more is your paused concentration and focus on what you're actually there to do degrading and just seeping away. So in the comfort of your home, where you have zero pressures and you just want the comfort of something nice, and then you just kind of flip pages, if that's what you're looking for, then sure, fine, this works. But for me, the page flippers is something that I'm using in lectures, presentations, or if there's a convention of some sort and something like that, that's where I need it. And I would assume some musicians may want to use this, but you can't use it with the foot, so that automatically kind of goes out the door. Those are the situations where this kind of thing just needs to work and be out of the way. No matter how cute, personable, and sweet it is, which it is, it needs to work. And this one, as we've seen, can it work? Yes, it can. Is it fiddly? Very. Tell me what you guys think about this one, and would you be tempted to use something like this? In what types of situations? And is the thing that's a problem for me, the differentiation of modes, is that a problem for you or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!